Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now, world leaders would face a reckoning over humanity's failure to curb climate heating emissions and polluting fossil fuels when they meet at UN climate talks next week. Pope Francis, King Charles III, political leaders, activists and lobbyists will be among the more than 70,000 visitors expected for the COP28 meeting in the United Arab Emirates, making it the largest UN climate change conference ever held. Negotiators will grapple with a host of flashpoint issues, including the future of oil, gas and coal, as well as financial solidarity between rich polluters and poorer nations most vulnerable to accelerating climate impacts. But the central focus will be a damning stock-taking of the world's limited progress on curbing global warming, which requires an official response to be crafted at the November 30 to December 12 talks. Now, to discuss this, we are joined by Dr. Tope Gloria Olatunde-Aiyedun, an environmental education lecturer at the University of Abuja. Thank you so much for joining me on the news this afternoon.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so can you tell us how effective were the discussions and negotiations at COP27 in addressing the urgent need for climate action and also combating climate change?
Yeah, thank you once again. COP27 has always been, it was a deliberate meeting, and world leaders came together to see ways they can tackle climate change. They can prevent the crisis that is already on ground and the ones that are even going to be predicted. So it is quite effective. Most yearly basis, there's always meeting of climate actions, climate change. And the COP27 was on how to lower the emission to 1.5 degree, lower the greenhouse effect to 1.5 degree instead of the 2 degree that we are currently in. And they have the long-term goal as well as the short-term goal in getting this done. So I believe that with the COP27, with the COP28 that is presently on ground, they will be able to continue from where they stop because there is a vision for it for till 2030. We have another one till 2060 thereabout. So I'm sure
all right, still talking about COP27 goals, it's assumed that some of these goals that were set out have already been achieved already. But can you tell us what were some key outcomes or agreements reached at COP27 that could significantly contribute to mitigating the impacts of climate change in general?
One of it is trying to see ways of reducing the fossil fuel emission into the air. And most, before now, we have been using the fuel and all other crude oil substances, which are not so good for our environment. So the COP27 agreed that there should be more use of solar power, solar energy. And I think that is a very beneficial one, as most houses, even in Nigeria, have solar energy rather than making use of their generators that can also pollute the air. So it's quite effective.
All right, so Doctor, can you tell us how successful were the efforts to engage and also involve developing countries in the decision-making process at the COP27, considering their unique challenges and also vulnerabilities to climate change?
Well, for the COP27, it's still a work in progress. I will not really say that they have achieved the 100% goal, but so far so good. I believe in terms of creation of awareness, so many people are already aware of the diverse effects of climate change, and that is the #1 mitigation, because ignorance is not just an excuse in this area. Most people are being affected on a yearly basis. And in Nigeria, we have our own peculiarity, despite we have the fossil fuel emission too, but most of the time, our peculiar issue for the climate crisis has been flood. So I believe that with the situation of the COP27, the way they are going into it, the crisis will be reduced as climate actions are being put in place. So with them putting in place those climate actions, there will be more mitigating measures that will be put in place. Thank you.
All right. Hopefully that will be the outcome. But just before we go, Doctor, in your opinion, what are the most pressing challenges that still needs to be addressed in future COP meetings, especially in COP28, this COP28 meeting that's about to commence, to ensure meaningful progress in tackling climate change?
I think we should still continue with what we have been talking about from the COP27. That is very important. I don't believe that things should be just left at the half done, should not be left undone, because we are not through with what they propose at the COP27. So there should be, the emissions should still be reduced. There should be more reduction in greenhouse gases being released to the air. These are reasons why there are cancer. Skin cancers are rampant now, and that is because the ozone layer is being depleted. These are the effect, the impact on our human health, and anything that is affecting human health, I think it requires prompt action. So apart from that, for flooding, which is also peculiar for most African countries, I believe they should also look into that. That will make the Africans to feel included in the global decisions. Because if we are looking at the emissions of gases, most often time is affected by developed countries. We in African continent, our air are still a bit better. I'm not saying it's good, but it's a bit better compared to others. But we should look at the pressing issues that are affecting our national areas, our country, our continent, which is flood. I'm sure if they can rope that in the COP28, Africans will feel more included in every decision they will be making. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Aiyedun, for joining me at this time to discuss this pressing issue.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.